Hello, warriors and friends. Welcome back to another episode of Lupus Speaks Podcast. And I'm your host, Shant'e. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to remind you that everything I share on Lupus Speaks is based on my experiences and my opinion only. As someone who is living with lupus, I am not a medical professional of any kind. While I strive to provide accurate and helpful information, it is essential to remember that lupus is a complex medical condition and what works for me may not be suitable for you. So just to put that out there. If you have any questions or concerns about your health or the management of your lupus, I strongly encourage you to consult with your physician or healthcare provider first.
All right. Welcome, Lupus Warriors, to another episode of Lupus Speaks Podcast. And I'm your host, Shant'e Townes. And I'm super excited because today I have my first guest of season 2. Here with me today, I have Janay Townes. And we'll dive into her journey with lupus and how she advocates for others through events. But before we dive in, I want to make sure you hit that subscribe button, catch up on our future episodes. And without further ado, let's get started. So, hello, girl.
Hey, I'm so excited.
I'm super excited that you reached out. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. I have so many questions, but today's episode is going to be about navigating life with lupus and empowering through events. So, can you share a little bit about yourself, your lupus journey from your diagnosis to where you are now?
Yes, and before I get started, I just want to say I'm wearing this hairstyle for you because you said that you liked my hair earlier when we was in our meeting, and I said I'm gonna wear my hair like this just for you. And I spent literally like 45 minutes trying to get it to look somewhat okay. So, I mean, I think I like it. It's
See, now you got faith in it.
I'm telling you, me and her, we have a love-hate relationship. I want to cut it off every other day. But I just wanted to get that out the way. So like she said, my name is Janay Townes. I am a almost 20-year lupus warrior. Wow, can't believe that. 20 years. Oh. I was diagnosed when I was 15 years old, stage 4 lupus nephritis. And it has been a roller coaster, from hospital admissions to multiple rounds of chemo to being on every lupus treatment that's available. I've been on. It's definitely been one roller coaster ride. However, I have been blessed enough to have a great support system. My family, friends, my Lupies. If it wasn't for my Lupies, I probably would not be doing what I'm doing today. I do it because of you guys. The main reason why I do it is because when I was diagnosed, there was information out, but it was real vague. And being as though I was 15 at the time, lupus was known to be an illness where like women between the ages of 25 and 45 will get. So when I was diagnosed at 15, I was just starting my life. Probably it didn't even start yet.
Right.
Yeah. Because I was only 15. And there was not any information for Lupies that, that were young. So I would say the first 3 years, it was hard. It was hard because you got to think at 15, you're in high school, you're hanging out with your friends. Some of us, I worked at 15. I got my first job at 15. So I was very much, I've always been mature, but I had a plan since probably like the age of 10. And that plan was I was a dancer. So the high school I attended had a dance program. So I was, the plan was to go there. Then after that, I was going to go to college for dance. And then after that, I was going to be a background dancer well, at that time, it was Michael Jackson. But I wanted to backup dance for anybody. And that had been my dream since the age of 4. I had no backup plan. That's all I knew was dance. So when I got diagnosed, I'm like, I'm gonna still dance and it's not gonna, affect me. Not knowing, yeah, lupus is a whole different animal. And it was, I want to say a year after my diagnosis, I started having really bad hip pain. And it was to the point of there would be mornings I would wake up and I literally could not get out of bed. So I went to my rheumatologist and she referred me to the ortho doctor. And the ortho doctor diagnosed me with avascular necrosis, which basically is death of like the death of the joint in your joints. So for me, it affects my hips, my knees, my shoulders. It can theoretically affect any bones in your body, but it affects the major joints. And because of that, I had to have a hip surgery my senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
And the surgery is called a hip core decompression. And it's supposed to help help the blood circulate to the joints. But a year after I had that surgery, I found out I'm still going to need a hip replacement in the future. So the surgery pretty much was pointless. And around that time is when my doctors sat me down and said, listen, I know you have this plan to dance, but you can't dance. So I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, and they were like, you might want to, look into doing something else because dancing is not saying that you absolutely can't do it professionally, but being as though my lupus has always been severe, I learned quickly, like, okay, yeah, they're right. I probably can't do it professionally. Mm-hmm. So when they told me that, I didn't know what I was going to do. Right. I didn't have a backup plan. Like, that's all I knew was dance. So I'm just like, okay. And at that point, it took me a good 12 years to accept my diagnosis before speaking about it. because before I would not speak about it. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I did not want to tell nobody I had lupus. Um, it was just one of those things that I was just like, oh, don't tell nobody. But I woke up one morning and was like, you know what? I gotta start telling my truth.
Right.
So I did that around when Instagram came out. So
Ooh,
2012?
child, when was that? 2012?
Yeah,
Okay.
2012. Um, and I remember the night, like I made the Instagram and it was one night my insomnia was kicking my butt. So I was like, let me hashtag lupus.
Hmm.
I hashtagged it and it was like the
It
bulb
was
was
the
going off
world?
in my head. Yes, because I was
It
like,
was?
okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
And at that moment is when I started sharing my story, posting, about lupus and reaching out to other lupies and all of that. So yeah, 2012 is
Oh,
when I can say my not awareness, but sharing my truth, that is when it started.
okay.
And I've been doing that since. Um, I am an open book. I'm very transparent. There are times where, my family would be like, Janay, why did you say that online? Or why did you post this? And my response is, you may not get it, but trust me, I'm doing it for a reason. And there have been so many Lupies who have reached out and will say, thank you for posting this. I'm going through this. And, thank you for talking about this because people don't understand. And that is when I knew, okay, Janay, this is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And I love it. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes social media can be nerve-wracking.
It
It
is. It is.
really can. But I love it. I love it because I know that I'm helping others, not just people with lupus, but anyone going through any type of illness, especially if it's a chronic illness. I just, I try to be as open as possible.
Right.
So that's pretty much little backstory.
So with that, I wanted to ask you, when you got your diagnosis, what is your strategy for like really coping with it, and how has it evolved over time?
Good question. I would say when I'm going through a flare, depending on the type of flare, but most of the time when I'm in the flare, it's joint pain. Um, my hair is thinning. Very seldom do I get the butterfly rash. Um, but I do get the rashes. Um, so as far as coping, for me, the best way that I cope is isolating myself, listening to music, and my strong faith. I'm always reading different Bible scriptures, um, or reading the different Bible plans that some of the Bible apps have. That is probably, I would say, the most important way for me to cope. However, there are times where I feel like me and God will beef because I'm just like, okay, Lord, why, like, why are you doing this to me? Like, what is going on? So,
yeah,
and that's just me being honest.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of times, and this is probably for people who are not Christians or have any type of religious background, but lot of times they're like, well, there's no God, because if God really existed, why would he, you know, give you lupus and all this other stuff? So, and I always respond back and I say, listen, because I get this question often. And I always say, God gives us what he knows we can handle. We may not feel
Like
like
we
we can
equipped to go
handle it.
through it. Yeah.
Right. Because there are times where I'm like, Lord, I don't know if I could do this. But if I feel like he gave it to us because we're strong enough to handle it. And I explain it like that because you have some people who absolutely can't handle any type of medical issues.
Mhm.
And then you have people like Lupies who we just deal
Can
with it.
endure some stuff. Yes.
Right. Like there's times where we're frustrated, we're mad, we want to cuss everybody out, but that's only for a moment. Once that moment's over, then we know, all right, that's just, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot dealing with a chronic illness, especially with a chronic illness like lupus, that when you're diagnosed with lupus, they don't tell you you're going to possibly have other underlying diseases. They
Yeah,
don't tell you.
they don't. No.
A lot of times, you know, we figure it out along the way. So, I like to say, if majority of us only just had lupus, nothing else but lupus, I don't think the lupus itself will be that bad to handle. But I think because, you know, and I'm not speaking for everyone, but I just know from what I've seen that anyone that has lupus, 9 times out of 10 have, you know, fibromyalgia, some form of arthritis, I can't even, depression, anxiety, just other little underlying illnesses that just make having lupus that much harder. But I don't, as far as coping goes, I'm just, I like to be in my own space. I don't like to have like everyone like, oh, Janay,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, because it just gets like, okay, especially when I go around like extended family events and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like, oh, you know, well, I see you're live, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. And then like you also have some family members who act like you can't do nothing.
Right.
That's like, girl, you shouldn't be. Baby, sit down, have a seat. And I'm just like, I'm fine.
I'm
I can
good.
do.
I got it. Right. Because if
Yeah.
I don't, I'm gonna sit down.
Right. So a lot of times when I'm going through a tough time or, just in a lot of pain, I'll keep to myself.
Yeah. I never really
I'll
thought about it like that, but I see that because I felt like, isolate yourself is probably like a bad thing when it comes to the depression side of it. But I definitely see your viewpoint when it comes to just not being bothered with people pity. Because I'm definitely let me have my own pity party to myself, but
right.
with everybody else, I don't like that. Like, just let me be in my space.
Yeah. Especially when I go into the hospital, which is often. And I don't know why people think that when you're in a hospital, you want to talk on the phone and, no,
This my
like
time to be.
we don't
catered
get
to.
any rest in a hospital.
No,
That's
they
number
already
one.
bothering us.
We don't
Yeah.
get no rest. Like, and when people call me and I'm in a hospital, I purposely don't answer. The only people I will answer for is probably my mom and my sisters or a best friend or a boyfriend. But if I see an aunt, a cousin, or I'm not answering my phone. I'm not answering my phone because I need time to heal and get better while I'm in the hospital. I
Right.
already don't want to be in a hospital.
Right.
So, and then like a lot of times, and they do it often because a lot of times when I'm admitted, I'll go live just to, give my followers an update and let them know what's going on. And sometimes I'm like, I really don't want to go live because I don't want to talk to nobody. So there are times where I won't go live, but I'll reach out to certain people to let them know what's going on because I know for a fact that I'm going to have aunts and uncles and cousins calling me like, well, what's going on? Why didn't you say this? And no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I know you have an event coming up. So let's talk about events and how it raises awareness. And how do you believe events contribute to the lupus community, and what impacts have you seen them make?
Okay. Yes. So let me go back. So I started Lupies Unite Incorporated back in 2019.
Okay.
We got incorporated August of last year, 22. The main purpose of me starting Lupies Unite was due to the lack of lupus awareness. And I believe for lupus to be such a serious illness, I don't understand why no one's talking about it. I just felt like, we have to do something about that. So my main purpose in starting Lupies Unite is basically just spreading awareness through events, through ad campaigns, different fundraisers, and just really showing people the seriousness when it comes to lupus, because a lot of times people have this conception that lupus is a made-up illness or you're faking it. They think, oh, you're just getting pain medicine because you're addicted to pills. Like,
Yeah.
It's really sad how it is shown in the media. So what we do at Lupies Unite is we try to have entertaining events, fundraisers. Um, we try to think of different ways on how we can spread awareness through different events or, social media campaigns and all that good stuff. Um, so back in 2020, the height of the pandemic, I decided to put together an event called the Lovely Loopy Holiday Virtual Special. And the main purpose for putting this event together is because this time of year, which I like to call hibernation season, is a rough time of year for a lot of people with lupus or any autoimmune illness, mainly because of the weather. Um, it, it I live in Jersey, so it's cold,
It's
and
cold, cold.
it gets super cold. Um, and when it's cold like that, like I know I'm young, I'm 35, I may not look sick, but my body inside is more like 85. So just imagine waking up every morning and your joints being super stiff, or you can't get out the bed, or your fingers or toes are numb because of the Raynaud syndrome. Um, and for me, that's an everyday thing. Um, and the thing about it is, theoretically, it's not even winter time yet. It's still fall. So it's going to get even colder. So this time of year, it's just it's just rough.
Right.
So being as though it is rough, I wanted to do something to uplift the lupus community. Um, so that to let them know, like, listen, I know it's rough, but we're all in this together. And even because the event's about 2 hours long, even for those 2 hours, I, want to just spread positivity for those 2 hours through lupus influencers, performances. Um, we have spoken word artists, singers, dancers, um, comedians.
Oh, wow.
Uh, yeah, like I try to cover every aspect of entertainment when it comes to putting this together. Um, but each year is a different theme. This year, the theme is strength, courage, wisdom.
Okay.
Um, I chose that purposely because this year has been a rough year for me and my family. So it has taken a lot of strength, courage, and wisdom just to make it to
Right.
the end of 2023. So um with that, the lupus influencers, they just give uplifting messages. The whole event is just positive, inspiring, motivating messages. Just like I said, even for those 2 hours, if you feel somewhat okay, then that lets me know I did my job. So this year, the event will be December 17th, and it will be airing on our website, www.lupiesunite.com, as well as our YouTube channel. I'll get that information out. We are putting the flyer / promotional video out this Friday.
Okay.
And I'm just really excited because we did not have the event last year. So this year, I really wanted to step things up, do things a little differently. And I'm just really excited for you guys to see the performances, the influencers. We do have giveaways. We will have, I want to say, 2 wig giveaways that we will be doing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We also have, I forgot what the other giveaway is, but once the flyer comes out on Friday, people will be able to go on our website and sign up for the giveaways.
Okay.
And we will be announcing the winners of the giveaways after the holiday special. And we will do that on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
So I'm just really excited for you guys to, see what we're doing. We're also doing a memorial tribute to those we have lost.
Okay. That's nice.
And which I like to always pay my respects to the Lupies that we've lost, especially the ones that I know and that I talk to often. So I'm big on, keeping their legacies alive and just paying a tribute to them. So we will be having the memorial tribute.
So this is included in the holiday special, or this is after when you do the
No, the
giveaway?
memorial tribute is included in the holiday special.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? What's I gonna say? I
I'm
forgot.
sorry.
But
That's the lupus brain fog. We get it.
okay.
we'll,
And
we'll talk.
okay.
I understand wholeheartedly. So, for those of you who are in the community that might be listening, what words of encouragement or advice would you offer someone navigating a lupus diagnosis or struggling with their journey?
Good question. I would say to the newly diagnosed, I would say if you were diagnosed within these last 5 years, I would say the first thing I would say is you're not alone.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, even though we hear that often, we still feel alone. So I always say you're not alone. And also, you're allowed to be angry and sad and mad. Like, you're allowed to. Don't let no one tell you, oh, man, she always crying. She always, no. Because at the end of the day, no one understands what we go through on the daily. I mean, we do, every day is not a bad day. Every day is not a bad day. However, we may have more bad days than good. But in those bad days, I would say always, even if it's one person or when I say person, one like loopy mentor, that you should be able to call, talk to whenever, because there are going to be times when you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on. The doctor said this. I'm not sure, because a lot of times when we're diagnosed, nobody knows what lupus is.
Correct, because I sure
Like,
did.
no one knows what it is. So it's one of those illnesses where we learn as time goes on, and it's always something. So I like to tell people, and it doesn't have to be a group of Lupies. As long as you got the one person that you could call, lean on whenever. Because talking to a family member or a friend that does not have lupus, it can get a little frustrating at times because they just won't get it. And that's okay. I used to get so mad when people didn't understand what I was going through. Like, I mean, I would get so mad. But then as I gotten older, I'm like, you know what? It's not their fault because they don't know.
Right.
So don't blame them, because people are ignorant when it comes to lupus. And that's the main reason why I decided to start Lupies Unite, because of the ignorance. So the main goal is to, just show people like this illness is nothing to play with.
It's not.
It's not like people can die from this illness. Like it's that serious. So I will always say you're not alone. Try to befriend at least one Lupie, because I know everyone isn't into support groups.
No, they're not.
So I know I'm into support groups, but a lot of times I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
So it's up and down. It's up and down with support groups. But if you want to, I guess, learn more, I guess go to a support group. I don't know. But I mean, again, it also depends on the type of person you are.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, the older I get, the more I don't like people. So, like, yeah.
See, for me, the support group thing is okay, depending on what space I'm at. Like, if I'm looking for a community or that space to kind of like connect with others, then yes, support groups work. But I find what I need or the information that I need from just being inspired by other Lupies, by just seeing how they're getting through it, or laughing at some of the things that only we understand. It make you feel a little bit better, like, okay, I ain't by myself on this one. I know what she's talking about. Or just seeing somebody else and encouraging them, because maybe their situation isn't as bad as mine is right now, but I understand what they feeling. So just being on an online space is good as far as another source of support, without having to be in that, because sometimes those support group spaces can be a little negative. So you don't want to be like, how you helping me? You make me feel more sad, so it can be weird for new people to be like, okay, am I gonna die? Because some people literally are about to be checked out, and you scared. You like, is that gonna be me? So definitely, when it comes to support and support groups,
it's funny you said that, because the lupus community, or any type of community, you're gonna have drama. You're going to have drama. I don't like drama. I'm not a confrontational person. However,
What? No.
however, um, I'm not into, the whole games and, oh well, she posted this and, oh well, she don't really got lupus and no.
What? People say that?
People say that.
I
People
haven't run into
contact
any drama, so I don't know.
people contact me. I just had a lady contact me and ask me about another Lupie who I guess is known to be a scammer.
What?
So I'm just like, uh, okay, like I didn't hear this, but I mean, oh, all right.
That's news to me. I didn't think it was like that
It
deep.
happens often. There are times where, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been scammed by a Lupie.
What?
Yes, I have been scammed by a Lupie. Yes. So now I'm real cautious when it comes to collaborating with others,
Mm.
and just, trying to come together with other Lupies. Because of that particular situation I went through, I think it was like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm naive
yeah.
in that area because I have no idea that actually goes on. Like,
It goes on. And then the other thing that happens often is you will have some Lupies who will be like, you could cure lupus, or
oh yeah, you do have those people.
you
Now
have
that,
those.
yeah,
And I'm just like, listen, everyone's lupus is different.
exactly.
What works for you may not work for me.
And then it's the
So
direct, like, change your diet. Okay, be gentle. Like I'm already. Like if
I
you're gonna
had
come
one
at me
lady,
with some information, please be
one
gentle.
lady, I think this was probably like a year, maybe 2 years ago. I think I had went live or I posted something about my kidneys and them wanting me to inquire about getting on the transplant list and all that stuff. So, and like I said before, I'm open. I'm
Mm-hmm.
open. I'm transparent. But on this particular day, I was not trying to hear it. And this particular person commented and was like, I don't understand. I give y'all the information. I tell you what you need to do. You got to stop doing this. You got to stop eating this. Da, 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 da. I said, this is the problem with this particular person. You don't know how to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you have lupus, my lupus is different from yours. And I'm not saying what you're telling me to do is not going to work. But what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying is my lupus is severe. Her lupus is nowhere near what I go through.
Mm-hmm.
Like she does the natural way and it works for her. She's
Mm-hmm.
not on any medication. Like everything's natural and that works for her. Kudos to her. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I yeah, I can't do that. So
Right.
I kindly let her know, like, listen, there's a way to say things without being offensive.
Yeah. The approach to,
Right.
yeah.
Like, and I understand, you're a direct person. I get it because I'd rather someone be direct with me. But that particular day, I was not trying to hear it.
Yeah, you weren't here for
And
it.
I didn't cuss her out or anything like that, but I kindly wrote her back and let her know, like, listen, I get what you're, trying to say, but you're coming off rude and ignorant.
Yeah.
And she
Like, you don't
apologized.
know.
She
Right.
apologized and she was like, what, I'm sorry. It's just that I see so many Lupies suffering and da-da-da. And I'm like, listen, I get it. But you also have to realize what works for you isn't going to work for everybody. Like, I'm glad that the natural way works for you. Like, I'm glad. Like, I would love to not take all this medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, that's just not my journey.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, you just have to be aware. And I'm a person, I can read people's energy like within the first 5-10 minutes of meeting them.
Mm-hmm.
And if I feel like this is not going to work out, then it is what it is. But I'm super cautious when it comes to working with other Lupies because you just never know people's intentions. And ever since I had that,
you wouldn't think that it would be an ill thing. I mean, just by the space that we're in, you want to advocate and be there for one another and be supportive. You would not think that.
Yeah. And I'm big on support. I'm big on, unity. It's the whole reason why I named it Lupies Unite.
Unite, right.
Because that's the problem. I just feel like everyone is doing their own thing, which is good. I'm not saying don't do your own thing, but sometimes we have to, in order to make a huge impact, we have to come together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, probably because lupus it affects women more than men. We know women are messy and dramaful. But that goes with any type of community. Like I remember watching, what was it? Little Women of LA. And they have full of drama. And it's just like, you really? But that's women are just dramaful. They're just dramaful. But listen, don't bring that drama over here because you're not gonna get that out of me. Like, mm-mm. And there's been times where people will try to turn me against other Lupies because of something they posted or something they said. And I'm just like, why? Like, really? This is what we're doing? Like, why? So, yeah, a lot of times I just stay to myself. I mind my business. And I, pick and choose carefully. Like, okay, maybe we can collab or something. And it's sad, but you really do have to watch out for scammers. You really do.
Got to be more careful.
You gotta be more careful. Even though we're all in this fight.
Yeah. That's sad. But let's go back to your event. Because that's the reason why we're here today, to make sure that we get people involved and supporting your cause. So where can they find you? How can they be more involved? How can they reach out? Is it too late to participate and be a part of it? Yeah.
So, okay. Well, you can contact me. I just had a damn brain fog.
It is okay.
It's horrible today.
Look, if I don't have these notes, we'll be all off topic.
Child. Is there something that they could give us for that? Like, but yeah, you guys can find me through my website, www.lupiesunite.com, or you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Lupies Unite. Yeah, at Lupies Unite. And however, I'm on TikTok, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm still learning it. Like it's a whole different animal. Um, but I am gonna start posting more into on TikTok. So once I figure that out, I will put that info out. But for right now, the best way to get in contact with me would be Instagram and Facebook. Or through email. You can email me at lupiesunite@yahoo.com. You can still donate. Um, and with the donations, I just want to stress this because a lot of times people think it's just money. No. If you are a business owner, small business owner, and you want to do a giveaway, that will still be counted as a sponsor. So, if you would like to be a sponsor, just email me again at Lupies Unite. Yeah, at Lupies Unite. Wait, Lupiesunite@yahoo.com. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, because you said at Lupus Unite the first time, and I was like, okay, so she got a professional email.
Right. But yeah, the best way to contact me would be through Instagram, direct message, or Facebook Messenger. And yeah, we're accepting donations. If you would like to donate the monetary way, you can donate through Cash App. And our Cash App is, I'm just going to double check because I don't want to give y'all the wrong Cash App info. But the Cash App is Lupies Unite 04. Yeah.
Y'all got that?
Yeah, the L is capitalized. So it's capital L, then UPIES, capital UNITE 04. And Lupies Unite is one word. It's not hyphenated or nothing. It's one word. But yeah, you could donate through Cash App. I think this week I'm going to make like a Zelle and all that other stuff. I just been so busy.
Yeah, you got a lot to plan, honey. This is a big deal. All these performances and spoken words and comedy specials. That's a lot. But I'm excited. I can't wait to join in.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Mainly because I didn't do it last year. So this year I'm just like, okay, yeah, we got to do it big. And
so the date is December 17th. Is a specific time that we need to be ready to join it? Or is it just...
I'm trying to figure that out now.
Okay.
In the past, the time was set for 6 p.m. However, I don't know if I want to do it at 6. So I still have to Friday to figure it out what time it's going to start.
Okay.
But yeah, the time, the date, and all that stuff will be on the flyer in the promotional video. And that will be out on Friday, which will make it a month to the event. And it is virtual. It is virtual because I know a lot of people is like, well, I can't make it. No, it's virtual. So even if you can't tune in at a certain time, you'll be able to, watch it when you can. But yeah, the time and date and all the other information will be on the flyer. You can still if you want to be a sponsor, you can still sponsor. And yeah, the giveaway portion will be directly after the event.
Okay.
On the 17th.
Okay. All right. Because I wasn't sure if it was another day.
those sign-ups for the different giveaways, which we will be posting pictures and stuff of, what we're going to be giving away. That will be on our website as well on Friday. So, yeah, you'll be able to sign up, and hopefully you're lucky enough, you will get a wig. You might, you might get some money. You might get a heating pad.
Oh, see, you didn't say it was a money giveaway. You just said it was a wig and something.
I
so
love
y'all better
my
sign up.
giveaways. Sign up, Even if it's just, a little $25, $30. Listen, we are.
It's more than what you had.
Okay.
Right.
Medication is high and expensive, so any little bit counts. But yeah, we will have some good giveaways.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. It was so exciting to talk to you. I can't wait to see the special. And your story and your wisdom is so inspiring. And I don't know. I'm blown away by your advocacy and your willingness to be involved and do more with the Lupus Unite. And I just had a brain fart.
I'm telling y'all, that brain
Look,
fart
it is a real thing. And I wish that it was a medicine for that. But
I'm gonna look into that.
Let me know when you find out.
We're gonna figure something out.
Like, just writing stuff down really don't help. You be walking to the refrigerator and you be like, yeah, why did I come in here?
Yeah.
All the time. All right, so don't forget to subscribe. Go follow Miss Janay on Lupus Unite. Register, sign up for those freebies or giveaways. And until next time, you guys, peace and be intentional. Bye.
That concludes this special episode of Lupus Speaks. If you found this content meaningful, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving a review. We'll be back with more stories and insights into the world of lupus. Until then, take care and remember you are not alone in this journey. So stay strong and keep shining bright. And if you are interested in more content, then follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Lupus Speaks. And if you want to join my newsletter and be a part of this wonderful, growing lupus community, go over to www.lupiespeaks.org for more information and to join. Until next time, peace and be intentional.